Okay, good morning everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend and welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Week 3 of our virtual program. I think it's going good. Let us know if you're enjoying it. Okay, so Arlene is off today, so we have me again. She'll be back later in the week. I'm just going to adjust this a wee bit. There we go. Okay, so you don't need any equipment today. If you're on a hard floor, then make sure you've got a mat or a towel, something like that. And we're going to start standing, but quickly coming down onto our hands and our knees. All right, let's go. So come into one end of your mat, bringing your feet underneath your hips, spreading the toes, finding the 4 corners of each foot. Just soften the knees off. We want to find that neutral pelvis, so tuck the tailbone gently, lift and draw in through the belly button. We're opening up through the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down, chin tuck slightly, Nice. Okay, we're going to start with the roll down to take us down onto the mats. So taking a breath in at the top. As you begin to exhale, let's tuck the chin. Start to round through the upper spine. So rounding through the shoulders. Now keep softening the knees as much as they need to for any tight hamstrings. Continue rolling down through the back of the body. Allowing the arms, the head to hang. Bend the knees deeply here if you need to. Crown of the head pointing towards the floor. And just take a couple of breaths here. Start to try and lift the tailbone, lengthen down the back of the legs, giving the hamstrings a stretch. Perhaps your hands are on your shins or your thighs. And on your next breath, you're just going to walk your hands out along your mats. And you're going to come onto your hands and your knees. Now again, we want to find nice alignment here. So let's start with the hands. Hands beneath your shoulders. Can you spread your fingertips nice and wide? Good. Draw the shoulder blades down the back of the body. We're going to lift that belly button in and we're going to tuck the tailbone under for that nice long flat back. You want to make sure your knees are beneath your hips and just uncurl the toes. So we want the back of the neck to be nice and long. So when you can, it's eyes down on your fingertips. So we want a little bit more spinal movement just to help us warm up through the back. And I want you to imagine this movement is coming from the tailbone and it's traveling up the length of your spine. So what we're going to do is lift the tailbone, start to find the natural arch in the back. You're going to pull the chest through the arms. You're going to look up just slightly. Then you're going to tuck the tailbone under. Allow that to roll up the length of the spine. Open to shoulder blades. And you tuck your chin under. We're going to add the breath. So we breathe in. We untuck tailbone. We ripple through the spine, open up the chest. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Lift through the spine, open the shoulder blades, and tuck the chin. And just follow the breath, match it to the movement. You can go quicker, you can move slower, but just allow each vertebrae to move. To feel the back warming up. And just take your time. Let's do that one more time. Drawing the belly button in, lifting the spine. And then open it up. Through the chest. Okay, from there, pull your bum back to meet your heels and reach your hands up overhead. Bring the forehead down. To give yourself more room, take your knees wider here and just lengthen through the spine now. I want you to reach much farther with one arm and it's as though you're pulling the mat towards you. With this opposite hand, we're going to take it back and we're just going to roll out through the wrist. One direction and then the other. But keep this stretch on the opposite side. Good, and then switch. So reach and pull. Take the opposite hand back, roll through the wrist. Other direction. Okay, and reaching both hands, just take a moment, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And from there, we come back onto our hands and knees. Remember, if you're on a harder floor, you can double your mat up underneath your knees to make it slightly comfier. Okay, so find that alignment again, hands beneath shoulders. Knees beneath the hips, tuck tailbone, draw the belly button in. We're going to take one arm all the way up, fingertips to ceiling, finding a twist through the spine, and then you're going to take that hand underneath the body and thread your needle. So breathe in, open up the chest, reach for the ceiling, and then exhale, reach underneath. Good, try and keep those hips quite stable, breathing in and breathing out. One more on this side, breathe in, reach up, turn the chest, turn the shoulders, and then exhale. This time, we're going to stay here so we can bring the shoulder down to the floor, the ear down to the floor, that bottom arm crossed underneath. We're using the support from this top hand. And we just almost want to keep twisting around to find that stretch through the upper back, through the shoulder. Good, and release off, back to all fours. And we do the opposite side, so breathe in, fingertips to ceiling, exhale, underneath the chest. Breathing in. And breathing out. So nice rotation through the spine. Inhale. Big breath for big movements. Okay, last one. Breathe in and twist. Exhale. So we keep the hips high here. Support with that hand and reach. Okay, from there, bring the hands shoulder width once more. This time, tuck your toes underneath, and you're going to push your hips back, lift them into a down dog. So press the head between the arms, and we're just going to bend the knees one at a time, drawing the heel towards the floor. Just from right to left, gentle lengthening through the back of the legs. Okay, and from there, bring those knees back down to the floor. And for the last time, all fours position, spine nice and long, belly drawn in for that strong core position. Shoulders away from the ears, the neck is nice and long. I'd like you to extend your right leg out behind you. And then we're going to lift that leg to hip height. We're going to keep it long, no bend in the knee. Now it's important to remember the belly here, draw the belly button in to keep the lower back strong. We're going to draw a rainbow with the big toe. So we're going to cross over that bottom foot. Now holding the hips nice and stable here, you're going to draw up, over, to the outside of your mat. So up, over, hips stay still, belly drawn in. And we're thinking a little bit about hip mobility here. Stability through the core, strength through the upper body, strength through the back of the leg. As you lift that leg, squeeze the bum, squeeze the muscles through the back of the leg, keeping the leg nice and long. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, couple more here. Just take your time, focus on the movement. Good, leg to hip height and draw the knee in. Take a quick child's pose if you need to roll the wrists or relax the shoulders. But once you are ready, you're extending the opposite leg back. Toes pointed, leg long. Now squeeze the bum, the back of the leg to lift. Draw the belly button in nice and tight. So we're drawing over the opposite leg, and then we're coming up and over to the outside of the mat. Okay, and once you know what you're doing, it's eyes looking down at your fingertips to keep the spine long from the head all the way down to the tailbone. Good, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Holding the hips as stable as you can, keeping them square to the floor. And if you need to, just make that movement ever so slightly smaller. Try and lift the leg to hip height. Use the muscles in the back of the body. Good, couple more here. And last one. Good. Okay, you can take a quick little push back. Just stretch it out. And then from here, we're going to bring it down onto our belly. So lowering yourself down gently to the floor. Let's extend those legs out behind us. The feet and the knees are hip distance apart, and they're going to stay on the floor. Think about trying to lift your belly button out of the ground. Shoulders relaxed down the back of the body. And we've got the hands wide. Okay, we're coming into our swan. So again, a bit of spinal movement, opening through the front of the body. We're taking a breath in at the bottom. Exhale now, squeeze your bum nice and tight. Feet stay on the floor. Lift gently, stop wherever you need to. And you lower it down. You're breathing in at the bottom. Breathing out to peel and roll yourself up. Inhale at the top, squeeze the bum. Exhale and lower it down. If we have any lower back discomfort during this movement, please make it a little bit smaller. However, if you can, start to push a little higher, but keep those shoulders away from the ears. Keep squeeze the bum tight, eyes stay down on the floor. Draw that belly button in as you come down to the floor. And let's have one more there. In whatever option feels best for you. Good. Okay, bring those hands in just a little bit closer, tucking the elbows in. Now you can stay down with the chest on the floor. If you want to keep the chest on the floor, you can stack your hands beneath the forehead. Otherwise, elbows tucked in, hands close, and you can lift your chest. So this is an option. Keep squeezing the bum. Now everyone is going to lift the legs just off the floor, and we've got a little swimming movement. So breathing in through nose and out through mouth. Option is down here. Good, squeeze the bum and let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down gently. Make sure the legs stay long and you're not bending at the knees. So you can either stay here with hands beneath foreheads, you can tuck elbows in, hands on the floor for support, or you can add this time your next option, arms up overhead, but only if you're lifting the chest. So if you are lifting, squeeze the bum, relax the shoulders, then lift the legs. And again, we find that little fluttering movement. Now keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Squeeze through the bum, draw the belly button in, breathing in through nose, out through mouth. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down gently. Good. Once more, come back into a child's pose. Knees wide. round through the spine. Okay, and from there, we're going to come onto our side. Whatever side first, it doesn't matter, we're going to do both. And we're looking for a nice long position here. So if we can, take the arm underneath you. If you do need a cushion or a block, use it now. So the fingertips in line with the crown of the head. Then we want to pull this top shoulder back to open up the chest, stack the shoulders. Stack the hips, the knees and the ankles. And imagine you're drawing your waist out of the floor. We can use this top hand nice and light in front for support. Okay, we're going to lift the top leg. So it comes up and down. Up and down. Good. Try and be nice and light through the fingertips here. Keep those hips stacked. It doesn't need to be a big movement, but we need to continue to balance on the bottom hip. Good. Inhale and exhale. Let's go for another couple there. Okay, this time lift that leg around about hip height with the foot, and we're going to take the top leg now up to join it. So we're going to work the inner thigh muscles. So we lift up and tap down. Up and down. Keep the breath going. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now you might feel this beneath the hip, so if you need to roll up a towel, roll up the mat for just a little bit more comfort beneath the hip. Now let's bring the ankles and the knees together on this one. Squeeze the inner thighs tight. Couple more. Last one. Good. And bring both legs down together. Okay, now you're either going back to that single top leg. However, if you can, squeeze the thighs together, knees and ankles connected, and you've got a double leg lift. So we come up and we go down. Lift and lower. Got your option if you need it, just here. Yes. Good. A few more here. Breathing in through nose and out through mouth. Last one. Okay, make sure the fingers are spread on this bottom hand. We're going to bring the top fingertips to the temple, and we're going to push up through hand and elbow on that bottom arm so that we can reach and crunch the waist. So we come down with an in-breath and we exhale and reach. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. If you want to, you can add the leg lifts. Don't worry if you wobble. It's meant to test the core muscles. If not, just take the leg lift out. But remember, push through that bottom hand. Exhale and inhale. Couple more here. One more for good luck. Good, nice work. Okay, from here, we're going to bring it back onto all fours just for one little thing. Okay, so hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Drop the shoulders down the back of the body, draw your belly button in. Now this time we want to curl the toes underneath us. And we're going to take a breath in. We're going to lift the knees just off of the floor and no more. Then you're going to exhale and lower down. So breathe in, tighten the core muscles, lift ever so slightly, exhale, lower down. Keep that back super flat, the knees stay bent, but we just lift and lower. Breathing in and breathing out. So we don't really change position, but we lock that core in as we lift with the knees. Couple more. Now you can continue with just the single breath. However, if you feel like you can manage, we're going to lift and hold, but I need you to continue breathing. So let's take an in breath, lift the knees, and can you stay there now? Keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, belly button drawn in, flat back and strong shoulders. Go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down. We take a little push back and reach. Okay, we're going to come to the opposite side now. So take your time to bring it down onto your mat again. Nice long body position. Remember, fingertips above the crown of the head. You're lying that head down. The chest is open with the shoulders stacked. Waist lifted. Hips stacked one on top of the other. And the knees and the ankles are together. Good. Nice light fingertips. If you need them, you might take them away and work on that balance. So we lift and lower with the top leg. Starting to work into the side of the leg, side of the hip. Keep thinking about drawing the belly button in here. Don't switch off through the upper body, just because the lower body is doing the work here. Remember, it doesn't need to be too high. We want to keep the hips square to the front here. No rotations. Just a simple lift and lower. Good, one more. And then you lift that top leg. Bottom leg is going to come up to join it. So working the inner thighs. Squeeze them together. Knees and ankles. And then lower. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Good, try and keep the height in that top leg to make the bottom leg work. To lift and join it. So whilst that bottom leg is moving, think about the other parts of the body. Are the shoulders still stacked? Chest still open? Waist still lifted? Squeezing those thighs together. Good, don't let that top leg drop. You've got another couple here. Good, and then both legs down. Okay, your double leg lift or just going back to that single top leg as your option. We lift up and we lower down. Now we need to squeeze those thighs in together, working the inner thigh muscles, knees and ankles together. Inhale and exhale. Good work. As I said, pop something underneath that bottom hip if you need to, but you shouldn't be rolling onto your bottom here as you lift and lower. You're balancing on this side, underside of the hip. A few more here. Continue with the breath. Last one. And lower down. Good, fingertips to temples. Remember, this bottom hand is nice and flat. Forearm and the elbow press into the floor. Breathe in, breathe out, crunch up. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the chest open, crunching into the side of the waist. And at the same time, if you wish, you can do that double leg lift. Maybe just a single leg lift. It's up to you. So using that support from this bottom arm. Keeping moving with the breath. Last couple. And lower down. Good. Okay, from there we're going to roll onto our back. Nice. First time for today. Okay, let's just find our alignment here first of all. So we want a nice long neck, the chin is slightly tucked. We want the shoulders to be level. Let's pull them down away from the ears for that long neck. Open up your chest. So dropping the shoulder blades into the floor. Just check the hips. We want that straight rat line from hip bone to hip bone. And we're tucking the tailbone gently, drawing that belly button right in. Nice. Okay, we're going to pick one knee up, directly over the hip, making sure it's not in too close over the belly. We've got that nice 90 degree at the knee. Now thread your belly button through to the floor a little bit more as you lift your second knee. And we just feel how the spine gently presses down into the floor beneath us. Yes. Okay, let's start with our hands by our sides. Hands nice and flat. And we're going to drop the right foot toe towards the floor. Now, if you can't quite tap the floor, don't worry, but see how my knee stays at a 90 degree bend. Then we're going to draw belly in, and we bring the foot back in. So inhale and exhale. Switch between right and left. Please don't be tempted just to bend the knee more to tap the foot. So this here is different to this here. We want that movement from the hip. So we push the knee and the thigh away to tap down, and then we draw in. Yes. And as I say, if you can't go all the way to the floor, then don't worry. Okay, bringing both knees in line with hips. Your option to take it a little further now is to extend your arms up over the body. Now relax the shoulders down, open up your chest. As you drop the right foot, you're going to take the left arm up overhead, keeping this other hand where it is. Exhale in. Switching sides, breathing in and breathing out. So a little bit of coordination for you now. As the hand and foot drop, please make sure the knee and the fingertips stay facing towards the ceiling. Yeah. So they don't move. Your last option, if you're feeling very strong through the core, and as long as your lower back doesn't peel off from the ground, then you can extend the leg and hover just above the ground. Exhale, pull in. But please keep the knees bent if you feel your lower back lifts. And just take your time, don't rush the movement. follow the breath. Inhale deeply and exhale. Draw that lower back down into the floor. Threading the belly button in. We don't need to lengthen the legs, remember. And we don't even need to use the arms if we don't want to. We can just tap the toes. Let's do one more on each side. Last one. Good. And then draw the knees in towards your chest. Give them a little hug. And you can roll the knees round in one direction and in the opposite. And then taking the knees apart here, roll them out and together. And then change direction. Good. And then place your feet back down, hip distance apart. Nice. Little tap of the tailbone, draw the belly button in. We're going to work through the obliques down the side of the core before we start to stretch off. Okay? So bring the fingertips to the temples. We're going to take a breath in at the bottom. We're going to exhale. We're going to lift with one shoulder. We're going to pull it across the midline of the body. We breathe in to lower. And then we exhale to lift. Breathing in, chest open, head down. Breathing out, chest still open, elbows wide. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale through nose and exhale through mouth. Now your option here. Bring one knee, two knees over the hips. Feel how the lower back imprints down into your floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Imagine the elbow is reaching towards the opposite knee. If that's a little bit too much or you feel your knees coming in too close, then just pop your feet back on the floor. Take a break wherever you need to. And your last option is to breathe out, tap a toe, breathe in. Breathe out, elbow to knee and tap a toe. Use the breath. Make the movement the full length of the breath. One more on each side. In whatever option you are using. Good, and lower down and hug those knees in. Okay, pop the feet down on the floor, take your hands nice and wide here. And we're just going to drop our knees towards one side. Now they don't need to come to the floor, but keep the knees and the ankles together. You can shuffle your hips a little bit if you need to get a bigger twist. And you just want to turn your head in the opposite direction of the legs. And just find that nice length through the entire back, that nice twist. Okay, pulling the knees into the center, allow them to drop the other way. Again, shuffle the hips if you need to. And then draw your knees back into the middle. Same thing through the hips. And then you can take one leg in, hold it behind the thigh, at the calf, perhaps the ankle, but just take your time to come into the stretch. Relax your shoulders and your head down. Just breathing into the muscles through the back of the leg. Finding that stretch down the back of the thigh. You might point the toe, you might flex at the ankle, you might move between both. Just whatever feels good for you. You might extend the opposite leg away. Okay, and then from here, your first option is to bring this knee in towards the chest, hugging it in tight. Wherever if it feels okay for you, you're going to rotate your knee out. Make sure you flex your ankle. Keep pushing this knee away. And if you can reach, maybe you use a towel or a band. You're going to look through. So through that little hole that the leg makes, and you're just going to hug it in to stretch off the back of the hips. Good, popping that foot down. Let's switch the legs over. Find that hamstring stretch on the opposite leg. So reaching for the back of the thigh or the back of the calf. But remember, relax your upper body down into the floor. And focus on those nice deep breaths. Maybe extending the other leg away, but you don't need to. And if it's more comfortable for you, you can then bend the knee, hold on to the shin, or push that knee out, flex the ankle to create a nice strong knee there. You can either stay here or reach through the middle, take hold of the shin or the back of the thigh. And again, the upper body is relaxed down, head down on the floor. We've got one last stretch and then just a few minutes to think about our pelvic floor. So bring the feet and the knees together and then gently allow the knees to drop out. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Draw that belly in. Just let the knees drop towards the floor. You can take your hands to the inner thighs and just gently push if you wish. Okay, from there, bring the knees back in. You might want to stay in that position if you find it most comfortable. Or you can lay your legs along the floor, allow your feet to drop out, allow the thighs to rotate outwards. Or if you prefer, you can sit up, find a comfortable position. Just where we can start to focus on our pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is super important for that bladder control. And you need to imagine it as a hammock-like muscle coming from the front of the pelvis all the way around to the back. So quite a big muscle. And to contract the pelvic floor, it's that up and in kind of pull, that kind of sensation. As though we're stopping ourselves from going to the toilets. So let's try that out. We're going to lift up and in, and we're just going to hold it with that squeeze. Continue to breathe in and out. And then release off, completely relax. Good, same again, pull up and in. And hold on to that contraction as you continue to breathe in through nose and out through mouth. Hold for another 3, 2, 1, and release. And again, pulling up and in. Breathing deeply, holding that contraction. Relax the legs, relax the belly. It's internal. It's a nice deep contraction. And then let it go. So we shouldn't feel the muscles in the legs tightening in the bottom or in the stomach. It's that inside feeling. And this time we're going to take 10 short, sharp lifts in and releasing off nice and quick. As though you've got a little bouncy ball inside your stomach and it's going down and up. Yes, bouncing on that pelvic floor. Okay, so in and out for 10. In and out. 9, release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax completely. Let's do that one last time. So 10 short and sharp in and ups. Yes? Okay, let's go. Let's pull in and release. Squeeze and release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax off completely. Okay, drawing the knees in. Take your time to roll onto your sides and push yourself up. Bring it over onto your knees. Tuck the toes and push back into a fold. And just hold it here for a second. So tuck the chin, hang the head, hands either on the floor or on the shins. Lifting the tailbone, finding length down the back of the legs. Take a breath in there as you exhale. Let's restack the spine from the bottom, rolling all the way through each vertebrae until we lift the chin and roll the shoulders back at the top. Let's finish with a few breaths. Feet underneath your hips. Breathing in, breathe out, and let it all go. Again, shake away any tension. Last one. Last breath here. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Give it all a little shake. Give yourself a little clap and a little pat on the back. Thank you so much for joining us again. Arlene will be back next week, well, at the end of the week for Pilates, and then next Monday. Thank you, everyone. So thank you to all of our members for your continued support. If you are not a member, but you enjoyed today's class, you can now, if you wish, head over to our website and use the donate button to donate the cost of the class, if you felt like you enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely week, everyone. It's starting to get a little bit Christmassy, isn't it? Very exciting. But hopefully I get to see all of your faces soon, rather than over a webcam, because it's much nicer to see you all. But have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon.